0.
Dyer wave.
Welcome to my house. Show me what you do. We don't have to go. Oh, I'm having a bad trip. I took too much shrooms listening to Flow Rider because I left Flow Rider and I came back to Tennessee. Welcome to my house. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go. I had a bad trip. This is the result of taking psychedelics and watching YouTube debates. Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm so tired of the idiocy of alternative media. What a bunch of clowns. Welcome to Jay's Analysis. You got it.
The food of the gods. Oh, I'm so counterculture, and all you low IQ retards will listen to me because you're low IQ retards, and I sound spiritual.
It is crazy. We always get crazy up in here. I'm not in a good mood today. I'm not. I woke up on the wrong side of my cot. As you can see, I live in an empty house with nothing but books. My bed is crumpled pages. I sleep on a mattress of crumpled pages of my enemy's books. And I woke up on the wrong side of my enemy's crumpled pages today. Just in a bad mood. Just in bad spirits. I'm sassy. I'm salty today. And then I saw a clip of Boomer McJones talking about orthodoxy is Neoplatonism and emanationism. What a buffoon. No wonder this guy has declined a debate 3 times. And by the way, he says that the guy he referred me to, I backed out of debating him. No, I did not. I said, you are welcome on my channel at any time to debate. Jim Licautis can come on here and debate any time. And you know what Jim Licautis said?
I have hiccups. I can't debate on YouTube. I have the hiccups. I have hiccups.
That's his excuse. Hiccups. So, no, E. Michael Jones, I did not back down from debating Jim Licautus, the guy that you got to come to debate me because you can't debate me. And everybody on here now knows that you think orthodoxy is Neoplatonism when St. Basil spent countless essays, letters, treatises refuting Neoplatonism, and Basil is the father of hammering out the essence-energy distinction. The energies doctrine is the basis of refuting Neoplatonism, boomer. I'm getting tired of these people. We are surrounded by morons. All the people who oppose us are complete idiots and morons. The people who oppose the theology that we propose, the people who oppose the philosophy, the worldview that we put out, the arguments that they don't know, I don't have a clue what they're talking about. And they'll say, I don't know theology, but let me sound off on it for the next hour. But I'm not a theologian. But let me sound off on this for about an hour. We just demolished sedevacantism. We demolished the Sata cult in 2.5 hours. No more sedevacantism. Rest in peace, you dumb schismatics. Rest in peace. Now, our approach is that we are very cordial. We are nice to whoever until they come after our positions, and then it's fair game. So once he started talking about talking in Estonia, did you know that the most cited document in the Summa Theologica are the writings of Dionysius? He doesn't even know that his own stupid Thomist position is 100% Neoplatonism. Does he not? He doesn't know that actus purus is defined in a Neoplatonic monadic way. How many times have we shown this? Countless times. These are the most hard-headed boomer people whose whole theology is based on politics. All the Roman Catholic trad, they don't know anything about theology. It's all politics for them. And that's why when you have an actual debate with them, they don't know what you're talking about. They don't know anything about the first millennium of Christianity, other than that some papal quote mined bunch of nonsense. A bunch of nonsense of papist apologists who have quote mined quotes, by the way, half the time are based on forgeries that the Vatican now admits are forgeries. The pseudo-Isidorian decretals, the Galatian decretals, forgery, donation of Constantine, forgery, all there to back up. Yes, Dionysius is Orthodox, obviously. But the point is that the thing that he thinks is Neoplatonism, which it's not, is the thing that Thomas Aquinas cites the most. E. Michael Jones doesn't know anything about philosophy or theology, and I'm tired of him acting like he does, and he sounds off on it, and he won't debate. That's why he won't debate, because he knows he'll lose the debate. And what happens to the trads that come in the Discord and debate? They get demolished. And what do? They go and they make fake profiles to come back because they actually want to hear the positions and learn it. That's the irony here. And I think that that's actually funny, that they make fake profiles so that they can come back and hear the talks and the lectures and the debates because they get booted because their arguments are so stupid. And they repeat the same dumb arguments over and over and over. Copy, paste, Catholic answers. Copy, paste, Catholic answers. Copy, paste, Catholic answers. And Candy Ibarra has been destroyed. And by the way, we get essays about to come out that are going to completely demolish Eric Candy Ibarra. Because Candy Ibarra is dishonest. That's why we're not happy with him. That's why we're not happy with E. Michael Jones. Boy, he's so based, bro. He's so based, bro. Bro, he's so based, bro. He's so based. Yeah, he's so based that he talks about stuff he has no knowledge about. Can't even pronounce the term logos correctly. There's not a trad left who will actually come and do a coherent debate. There's no more. And our good ortho bros, we got Sneck, we got Lewis, we got David, we got J2, we got all of our bros just demolishing the trads left and right. They're getting demolished on Twitter. And so what are they doing? They're fleeing to politics. Oh, it's just politics, bro. Just politics, bro. Me, Michael Jones is so based, bro. He's so based. He's so based. Hand me another candy bar, Eric. Hey, Eric, how come you look like Bluto? Why, Popeye, I'm gonna beat you at a debate, Popeye. Let me talk in slow motion and then I'll waste 3 hours of debate while I talk in slow motion, eh, boo-boo? Why do I look and talk like Pluto? Anyway, Logos. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll talk to you for about an hour on it after I just drank a box of Boomer wine from a Boomer box of wine. Let me tell you about my wife. I'm drinking wine from a wine box for the last hour, and I'm ready to sound off on a stream about Pete Buttigieg for an hour. Indiana politics, Pete Buttigieg for an hour. Let me talk about Pete Buttigieg. So based, bro. He's so based. Give me a freaking break. Are you okay? I woke up on the wrong side of my enemy's crushed books today. He's so based, bro. Well, if he's so based, how come he can't talk about like basic philosophical theological concepts correctly? Oh, he's a historian. Well, if he's a historian, then how come he's sounding off on philosophy and theology? He's declined debate 3 times. Boomer, box wine. All right, we're not here to talk about these clients, but that's what's actually going on. Oh my gosh, phone calls. Bro, why are you calling? What are you talking about, bro? We're here to talk about Terence Trent McKenna. Good grief. Remember Terence Trent D'Arby? Oh, how's that song go? Kissing like a bandit, stealing time underneath the sycamore tree. Cupid by the hour sends Valentine's to my sweet. Doot, 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 doot. Tripping by the hour on mushrooms time. Terence Trent McKenna. Remember Terence Trent D'Arby? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Basil doesn't talk about a secret initiatory tradition. No, he doesn't. He's talking about Gnostics having that. Orthodoxy doesn't teach a secret Gnostic tradition. In fact, that's a key component of against heresies when St. Irenaeus refutes the Gnostics. You know what I did? You know the reason why I beat all these people in the debates and that they won't debate me and they won't debate me? It's because I spent 13 years reading the first millennium of Church Fathers. And every Roman Catholic reads Protestant Papist debates. And they read those extensively because they just assume that, well, everything was solved once Thomas Aquinas came along. And the second millennium is where we need to focus, and the authority of the papacy. Everything was solved in the first millennium. What's the point of arguing all that stuff? And they don't know anything about the Church Fathers other than what Catholic Answers, like Nick Fuentes when he's reading from the Catholic Answers page as he's debating me, which you can see him doing it, by the way. I could have called him out on that, but I was being nice. I didn't call him out. But yeah, I mean, so yeah. Let's see. I had some of these screenshots pulled up here. We could pull this up. Where's the one I'm looking for? Forget it. I'm not doing that. Wait, is this it? Maybe this is it. No. What's the point? They don't, it's like talking to children. They don't listen to you. They don't read the stuff that you talk about. I didn't dodge a debate. That's some kid, some nobody who comes in the server. I banned that dude because all he did all day was talk about bullshit. He took 5 straight hours in the server talking about nonsense. I don't even know what his position is. Yeah, it's not to shut him up. It's just that he's a nobody, and now I'm banning you too because you're nobody. Where are all these idiots coming from? Anyway, I probably should have not done a stream tonight because I am in a feisty mood. I got some sass lit under my pants. I got some sass coming out my butt tonight. I like how anybody that is just a total idiot, a total retard that gets banned in the Discord, they act like a total retard, and then when you ban them, they say that it's because you're scared of debating them. Dude, I don't even know who you are. Like, you're scared of me, man. You're scared of me. You're in there talking about Fed posting. No, man, get the fuck out of here. You're an idiot. You're nobody. You're a retard. You're an idiot. As if there's not 50 of you every day. But we are going to talk about. So is my anger not getting me super chats tonight? Coming with the heat and I'm not getting no super chats? What's up with y'all? Damn, son. Oh, we got a few in here. God, we got several new members. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 members. Wow. Awesome. So yeah, if you didn't know, I was moving because the KGB pays me salaries to move from Florida to Tennessee. I got a much better deal. Putin sent me an email and he said, talk to Dugan and Dugan will buy you a new house if you follow everything we say to do. That's literally the level of the trad arguments now, is to just say that it's all KGB. I mean, with this level of IQ and intelligibility, like how have any of these people lasted this long? How do you get along? How do you get through the day being so dumb? I don't know. It's amazing too that the people think that debate, that when you actually bring up concepts, philosophical terms, words, meanings, and they think a debate is just talking about how you're retarded, how you're an idiot, talking about your KGB, talking about you're a Kabbalist. That's not a debate. So let's say I'm the worst human being ever. So I'm Satan incarnate. What are you gonna argue against my position? What is your argument? Because even if I'm Satan, that's not an argument. I mean, if you were interested in what's true, why would you not do a debate? No, it's that they don't want to lose. That's what it is. All right, so we're not here to talk about all these idiots. We're here to talk about another idiot, one of the best idiots of all the idiots. You know, by the way, I did buy a PC, and I bought a PC so that we can do live streams. I have free Macs running Jay's Analysis. Now we have a PC so that we can do live streams with other people. That's how silly it's gotten. Like you can't do live streams with other people on a Mac anymore because OBS doesn't work with the Mac. It'll work when I'm doing it, but anytime I get people on. Let's get into McKenna, or else our people are going to be mad. Why are you talking about all these online people? You know how little we do drama, by the way. You know how little we actually go after people? You know, it's funny because people act like, you're so mean, you go after people. You go after people. No, I don't. That's like 2% of what I talk about. We've consistently put out quality material at Jay's Analysis on my channel. Very rarely do we go after people. And when we go after people, what do? We critique their ideas every time. What do we do on the set of a contest stream? We critique the position for 2 hours. When I critique Jordan Peterson, did I talk about his personal life? Not one bit. I talked everything about his positions in classical liberalism. When I critique Father Freeman, did I talk about his personal life? No, because that's the lamest, weakest argument. It's the dumbest, lamest approach to go, I heard he was doing this. I heard he was doing that. I heard you were this. It doesn't matter if all of it's true. It's not an argument. But people can't argue. People don't know basic anything. They can't work through, they couldn't tell you 3 basic fallacies. And inspiring philosophy, he pussied out. Total pussy. And Cameron, his butt buddy, also pussied out. Because they lied and they pretended that they were supporters of the work, and they weren't. Cameron actually can't stand what I do. He doesn't understand the transcendental argument. Has no clue what it is. No philosophical training. He's a photographer. It doesn't matter to me, dude. If you were concerned with what was true, you would listen to the critique of theistic evolution, and you would know how it's heretical. But Cameron is a heretic, and so is Inspiring Philosophy, because he built his entire channel on stupid heresies. So I'm really getting tired of, I may just start coming after people because I'm getting tired of being so nice. Actually, I'm very nice and very peaceful and very cordial until you come after me, and then it's on. And so I may just make videos deconstructing all these people, because these people, again, I mean, you can spot right away when somebody's interested in what's true, because if they're interested in what's true, like, what do you have to fear? So what about your ego? So what about your ego being right in an argument? That's not ultimately what matters. And by the way, I don't actually mind if I lose a debate. I've not yet lost one that's public, but I don't actually mind if I do. It's not that big of a deal, because I'd rather lose the debate and learn what's true. But almost everybody, I'm telling you, this is why people don't win debates, and why they don't win debates with me in particular, is because they're not actually interested in what's true. They're interested in playing an ego game and winning a debate. Now, I know that there's a lot of people who can't stand Jay's analysis that don't like what I do. They're going to say, that's not true. There's no way. Oh, all Jay wants to do is learn. That's all he wants. Because they think I'm like them. They think that their mindset is my mindset. I'm past that, bro. I don't care about winning a debate. I really don't. And there are plenty of people who would beat me in a debate. There are plenty of people who are specialists in fields that I don't like. The older you get, the more you realize how much you don't know. There are Christological scholars who would beat me in debate. There are logicians who would beat me in subjects of debate. I don't think there's an atheist or a unbelieving philosopher who would beat me in a debate. And that's not because I have such a high IQ. It's not even about the IQ. It's about the limitations of the positions when you adopt them. It's the limitations in the atheist position. The fact that it boxes you into a limited number of choices that you can pick for your worldview. And because I've debated atheists probably 200 times, and because I've debated Thomists probably 100 times, there's not an atheist or a Thomist that I'm afraid to debate. There's not a Roman Catholic that I'm afraid to debate. Not a single one. And every time we invite them on, they say they're not interested in doing a debate. They say, I'll do a written debate. I'm not doing a written boomer debate. I've written hundreds of articles for the last 10 years. I'm not writing free articles anymore. The articles that I'm posting on Jay's Analysis are old ones when I got censored. Anything that I write is going to be in a book, because you don't have to write for free once you've been published. I published 2 books, publishing 2 this year, 2 more. I'm not writing free articles. I'm not writing a free 30-page boomer debate when you can come on and debate like everybody else in the world does debate on YouTube, online, or audio. I would even do audio if you're too hiccupy. If you got too many hiccups to do a debate on YouTube, then come do an audio debate. But the real issue here is that No, it's not a book with my priest. The real issue is that people are worried about their audiences. They're worried about how they're perceived. That's the problem here. Now, I'm going to tell you right now two things that Imago Jones is ridiculous about. Imago Jones is totally wrong when he says that John Paul II fought the liberals in the Vatican. No, he did not. John Paul II was the pioneer of protecting pedos and creepers in the Vatican. Total bullshit. So I'm calling that out right there. Secondly, Imago Jones says that he critiques Darwinism, and yet he defends Humani Generis and all the popes that promote theistic evolution. Total contradiction, total inconsistency. It's just incoherent. How are you going to critique Darwinism and defend theistic evolution and then defend the papacy at the same time as critiquing the papacy? This boomer neo-Catholic bullshit is a fraud. It's nonsense. And he knows that I will cite line and document from Vatican II, Nostra Aetate. We'll go through Nostra Aetate, which he says is just a mistranslation. It's not a mistranslation. You can't reject the Holy See's interpretation of its magisterium, and Vatican II is magisterium. So he promotes the nonsense that you can reinterpret Vatican II to mean whatever you want it to mean. That's trad, his version of trad, which is not the last 60 plus years of the papacy's version of trad. So all the same critiques of the Sedevacantists that we did in the Sedevacantist position, it applies to all the trads who think that they can reinterpret Vatican II to mean what they want it to mean. No, nobody is buying this, especially after Pachamama. Nobody's buying this bullshit anymore, the papacy. It's over. Give it up. Why are you going to follow some boomer who's still defending the papacy? And other trads have called him out for this. Hoffman has called him out for this. So if you want to call out orthodoxy, I'm going to take you down. I will take you down with arguments. I'm not going to take you down in some bitchy, pitiful way like people on YouTube do about talking about people's personal lives. I don't care about your personal life. I'm going to talk about your dumb positions. You don't even know what logos is. By the way, the last time I heard an interview with you, you were saying logos. You're identifying it with the person of Jesus Christ. When before it was some generic law. That's not what logos is. Logos is the second person of the Godhead. I don't think you've read anything from St. Basil. I don't think you've read anything about, obviously you haven't read a single thing about the essence energy distinction because you evidence zero knowledge of the topic. I'm waiting to open up the Summa and go page by page with a Summa apologist and work point by point by point about absolute divine simplicity. I mean, I'm just tired of being nice. I've been so nice and cordial with people for so long. And then they want to talk shit and they want to lie and say that I backed out of debating Jim Licautus when I didn't. Jim Licautus backed out of debating because he had hiccups. The gayest excuse of all time. Who uses hiccups as an excuse not to debate? We open up the Discord every damn week for people to come debate. We make it as easy as possible to come debate me. And the only people who do it are lunatics, apparently. So let's talk about Terence McKenna. I'm done with all that idiocy. He begins his book with a Marxist type of quote.
A specter is haunting planetary culture, the specter of drugs.
A specter is haunting Europe. That's the right. Communist Manifesto begins with a specter is haunting. What we're going to notice with Terence is that right away, Terence is going to give away the whole game. He's going to tell us everything. He's going to tell us the whole New World Order thing all right away. Anybody who still is stupid enough to defend Terence McKenna, you're an idiot. Terence McKenna is the most establishment, moronic retardation. And within 1 to 2 pages of the introduction, he tells you this. And if you believe this, you're dumb. He says that, now, the reason it dupes a lot of people, I will say this, the reason it dupes a lot of people is because he does critique the drug war and he does critique pharmaceutical companies. So it looks like on the surface, hey, maybe he's woke. Oh, bro, Terence is freaking woke, dog, because he critiques the big companies. As if every dumb Marxist, leftist, controlled opposition person doesn't critique corporations. Of course they do. Marxism has always done that. Marxism is not a real movement. Marxism has always been funded by billionaires, zillionaires. But Terence dupes us because he starts off by talking about the drug war and that global drug culture might actually lead to a revolution in society. In fact, he says that the evolution of the species comes out of drugs. He says addictions, obsessions, these are problems that big pharma is not able to address. However, as society progresses, they're going to learn that perhaps there are organic drugs that we can turn to, not the synthetic drugs, but the organic chemicals. And maybe that's the sacrament of the new world order, the new age's sacrament. I said this a long time ago. I said that you could look at hallucinogens like a Luciferian sacrament, and that's what they are. They're actually viewed in a religious way. Terence views hallucinogens in a religious way. But before we get to all that, because that's going to be a big part of the thesis of this book, before we get to that, the internet, he says, is going to create a global culture. Well, of course it is, right? But when did Terence wrote? Terence wrote this in 1992. Terence knew that the internet was going to create a
global culture. A global culture.
And that freedom is what would be extended to all people. But this is not freedom the way you dum-dums think of freedom. It's just freedom to put the pee-pee in the poo-poo. That's all the freedom that you're afforded. Freedom to blast your mind on drugs and to put your members in any possible orifices. That's the only way. And cut them off. That's all that freedom is. That literally is it. That's all that freedom is. That's the only type of freedom that even matters. Pee-pee freedom. He says that there will be an archaic revival. This is the CIA's countercultural primitivism that they have planned for many, many, many decades. We've been here talking about this for many, many years. And he even says that the return of the goddess, this is exactly what Friedrich Capra said, the return of the goddess, the return of the goddess and the rise of a new global world order would be consonant with shamanism and the return of the archaic shamanic traditions. And just like Friedrich Capra, global strategist, thinker, you have Terence McKenna saying the exact same thing, saying that the hallucinogen experience would be a shamanic initiation for everybody into the new era, the new age. That's literally what he says within 5 frickin' pages of the book. So how anybody thinks that this is legitimate counterculture is beyond me. You have to be really naive. You have to be really dumb to think that this guy represents a legitimate counterculture, anti-establishment position. He's promoting everything that the establishment is pushing now. But he promoted it in 1992, so it sounded revolutionary. And the book is even called Radical Action, right? It's a radical history of plants, seeds, and human evolution.
Human evolution.
What is the future? Democracy. People demand experiences, but we need an experience that brings people back to a kind of indigenous spirituality, he says. He says a kind of Garden of Eden experience where, get this, he calls the hallucinogens the tree of knowledge. Wow. Hallucinogens are the tree of gnosis. And you wonder why every time retards trip a bunch of acid or trip a bunch of shrooms, and they come to the same dumb position that every retard in history has ever come to, which is known as animism, pantheism, or monism, and they think that they are enlightened when they're just repeating the paganism from 1,000 years ago, from 5,000 years ago. But because they're retards, they think that they've had a real experience of enlightenment, and it's just demons. Nihilism leads to drugs, which will lead us back to a new age. Once we reach this stage of nihilism, as we have evolved past
our heteronormative Western patriarchal religions, we'll take the shrooms and we'll see the beauty of the goddess and Gaia and Mother Earth worship, and we'll return to an indigenous, healthy spirituality.
Everything the Freet of Capra and every one of these clowns says, they all say the same thing because they all work for the same people, and it's all the same plan. You will see the return of the shamanic tradition of the Gaia, and guess what it's all for? What are the 10 commandments of globalization? Depopulation.
We need to get to zero population growth.
Zero population growth is what it's all about. Page 14, right away. There they tell you, it's always ZPG.
Zero population growth.
Remember the video we played many times, the clip of Terence talking to the mushroom, and the mushroom told him that
it's not less brown people. It's the soccer mom in Orange County who needs to stop spitting the babies out of her vagina.
I'm talking around the algorithm. So, it's all about your dingus, and it's all about blasting your mind on hallucinogens. Where you gonna put the dingus? Where you gonna put the dingus? I don't know what this note means, but I put the dingus challenge. It's all about the dingus challenge. Exactly. Oh, I see what my note means. The dingus challenge. The challenge to Christianity, he says, literally, Christianity's patriarchalism. The challenge to it is tripping your dingus off. Once you go through the dingus initiation, tripping your dingus off, you'll be enlightened. And he tells little caveman stories. Caveman story at the beginning of his chapters are caveman stories. Fictional caveman stories. Cavemen are faking gay. There were no cavemen. Now, people have lived in caves, but there were no cavemen because cavemen are faking gay. This is proof cavemen are faking gay. And Jay's analysis has proven space is faking gay. Yetis are faking gay. Space is faking gay. As we said, aliens are faking gay. Darwinism is faking gay. And Terence McKenna is faking gay. So it's very interesting. He makes it very clear from the outset that his project
is anti-Christianity.
He wants to see the return of yoga, shamanism. This is interesting because he does say gurus are scam artists. Bro, then you're a scam artist because you're a guru.
He says, I went to India and I discovered that the gurus were all a bunch of con men.
And he does cite Mircea Eliade. Now, we have cited Mircea Eliade many times in our essays and writings because Mircea Eliade was a well-known scholar, Romanian scholar of comparative religion, very famous, very well-known. And Mircea Eliade, in his book on shamanism, which we've referenced many times, talks about initiation, trances, the demonic, and how every shaman, when he goes through the ritual, is cut up and put back together. He's cut up, he's eaten by the spirits, and he's vomited back up like a mama bird into his normal form. And then he comes back from the initiation, and you're enlightened because the demons vomited you up like baby birds, like mama birds vomiting in the baby birds. And so, therefore, this pattern of shamanic initiation, he says, speaks to a spiritual reality. Well, we've made that argument many times. But he goes further and says that shamanism is different from the guruism of India. He says shamanism is true because it's a direct path. You see, if you go the guru route,
if you go the guru route with Oshas, you must travel through the booger whistles initiatory hierarchy of the levels of grades of being of boogers. And once you have picked these levels, you go to this level of the chain of booger beings, and you find there is even bigger boogers.
Yes, gurus are con men, but shamans are not. Yeah, right. Reference, please, our many talks with Tristan over at Primal Edge Health, who has called out the con men, shamans, the shamanic con men, conning all the boomers who go to Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, blah, 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 thinking they're getting enlightenment, and you lay in a tent while the boomer gets his wife's booty felt up by the shaman. And you pay thousands of dollars to have your wife felt up by a spiritual shaman who is a con man.
The brujo. I'm the brujo. Just let me take your wife into this tent. I will take her and make her very spiritual. You go lay down there on the other tent and put these blinders on while I take your wife into the tent and I will initiate her. You just go and pick your boogers out and let me initiate your wife.
Natural magic, he calls it. Terence McKenna calls it natural magic. He says that the shaman taps directly into natural magic and we don't need the hierarchy of the gurus. Wow, it's so mind-blowing. I don't need gurus. Oh, but I do need Terence as my guru, you see. The mind of man creates his reality, Terence says. Now, this is interesting because he actually connects. You wouldn't expect this. He actually connects postmodernism with magic. If you remember the video I did from my car about a month ago about postmodern chaos magic.
Postmodern chaos magic? No, depends on what you mean. Depends on what you mean by postmodern magic.
We talked about this, the connection between postmodern philosophy and the breakdown of meaning, the breakdown of metaphysics, the breakdown of there being nature and essences out there in the world, in things. Once that breaks down and you have alchemism and empiricism and nominalism, what that leads to is skepticism, but it doesn't stop at skepticism. The next phase after skepticism, if you didn't know, is called postmodernism. And postmodernism says, you know what? Not only are there no essences out there in the world, no natures, no biology, things don't have natures, man doesn't have a nature, man doesn't have an essence, biology is not a real thing. Not only is it a interpretive, it's a thing that we actually import onto reality. Oh, so now I can call my dingus of a JJ, and it is. It becomes of the JJ when I call my dingus of a JJ. Getting better at what, doorman? More like backdoor man. Boom, I just blew you up. Dude, my impressions have always been on point. Always been on point. And now I can be loud because I don't have boomer condo neighbors. No more boomer condo neighbors. I can yell. I can be like Alex Jones and yell because I don't have boomers building Harley Davidsons, dropping nuts and bolts all night on the tile floor, waking me up, dropping golf balls. By the way, have you noticed that everybody that I've critiqued, I'm vindicated on? Don't I always end up vindicated? Yes, we do at Jason Alsis. We always end up vindicated. Always. For years, we've ended up vindicated. So when you see me when I critique somebody, get ready because I'm going to be vindicated. Higher dimensional reality. Higher dimensional reality. Terence tells us that when we go through the shamanic initiation, we are tapping into the higher dimensional spiritual planes. Something that we've talked about many times on Boiler Room, many times in our streams, and we have discussed the interacting with entities, the interaction with
the DMT clockwork elves. Did you know that the clockwork elves have very small dinguses?
dingus initiation. That's what it's all about. Now, here is the dumb part, because this whole book, this book is based on, number one, obviously the presupposition of Darwinism, but not just that. Terence wants to tell us how we evolved. And he thinks he's discovered the Luciferian initiatory mechanism by which humans have evolved consciousness from being primitive ape men, which don't exist because cavemen and ape men are fake and gay, and they're always fake like Nebraska Man and Piltdown Man. But Terence is going to tell us how we can know we achieve consciousness through evolution. And guess what? It was through magic, herbs, and shrooms. The poo-poo, yes, the poo-poo of apes shows that there was some monkeys, supposedly. This is so dumb. Just trust Terence that the analysis of the poo of the monkey shows that they ate apes, or that they ate tripping acid grapes. Apes ate tripping grapes. Apes ate iboga and shrooms, and they tripped their balls off, and this is how consciousness developed. Now, what's funny about this is that, okay, so Christianity is superstition. Western religions are all superstition. But Terence is appealing to magic. I'm not joking. Actual magic and magic mushrooms. He literally says it's magic because it's a higher dimensional reality that seeps in through the shrooms that develop the consciousness in the monkeys. I am monkey. I like cantaloupe. I am a monkey and I like the cantaloupe. I eat the cantaloupe and I develop 1,000 IQ. I eat 23 mushrooms and I have developed 1 zillion IQ. I have 1 zillion French Canadian IQ. I'm going crazy tonight. No, I'm not on shrooms. I don't do shrooms. I don't do hallucinogens. We all know my bad trip story. But just trust Terence that there was a study done supposedly one time from 11 million year old ape dung, and they ate shrooms, and that's where consciousness comes from. This is the people, this is our opponents are this dumb. And what is the key to all this? The presupposition of evolution. I'm not kidding. That's what he says. The presupposition of evolution. He says, we know that Christianity is false because evolution has proven it to be false. But somehow we were a one-celled organism from nowhere. It just came. And through symbiotic co-evolutionary relationships, things like gender, things like, oh, wait a minute, I thought gender isn't real. Oh, but wait, it is. Oh, but wait, it's biological. It's, oh, but wait. Uh-oh. Right, exactly. These things just popped out. Mutations just pop out dinguses and bajenkas. Your dingus is just a mutation. It has no teleological purpose. It's a mutation. And that's why it's okay to put your dingus in the poopus.
That's why it's good to cut your dingus off. Why don't you be initiated and cut your dingus off?
LSD, he says, therefore, is a game changer. It's a genome shaping power. All right, so he says basically that food is a sacrament. And not only is food a magical sacrament, like the Eucharist, this is the satanic version of the Eucharist, I'm telling you. He says that we could look at hallucinogens as sacramental, magical objects, food, that we take into our being. Mr. Frodo, would you take the gay limbus bread, Mr. Frodo? Oh, please, Mr. Frodo. We're about to die on the road to Mordor. We're about to die. I
forgot to put me dingus in the poopus, and I need initiation. I need some of the gay shrooms.
You like my Sam?
Somebody's like, you did a good impersonation the other day.
Dude, I do based impersonations all day, and they're all good. They're not all good. Mostly good. I can't get Christopher Walken right. But once again, Terence goes back to appealing to magic. Magic. Christianity is superstition. But Richard Dawkins tells us about aliens. Terence McKenna tells us about magic. And so he goes back to arguing about,
We all know that we came out of Africa, although I don't understand how I came out of Africa since I'm just a tiny little man with a tiny little dingus. I should have an African erectus, but I don't because I'm a tiny dingus.
the ape men from Africa prove to us that consciousness emerges about 100,000 years ago, probably because of DMT. No, I'm joking. Probably because of, actually, he says compounds like psilocybin, DMT, harmaline could be the factors in the proto-human diet. Oh, wait a minute. What's a proto-human? Well, it's like Piltdown Man. It's like Nebraska Man. Oh, but those aren't real. Those are known frauds. Oh, but there still were proto-humans. Zillions of them for aeons. Where's all those fossils at? We'll find them one day, bro. Trust me. They're out there. They're out there. There's not any right now, but we'll find them. Language and religion evolved at the same time as shrooms were taken by the caveman. Total nonsense. Language and religion come from shrooms. And why did they develop? Because they're advantageous. They're just why? No explanation of what they are, how they can be. By the way, you're told what metaphysics do exist, right? Shrooms are a magical thing, and there's higher dimensions that speak through the shrooms, and there's spirits that speak through the shrooms. But don't be a superstitious religious proponent. Excuse me, you just promoted a superstitious religion, dummy. Language is magical, though. And shrooms led us to realize that shrooms plus sex is the origin of all religion. That's it. Everything is explained by shrooms and butts, booties, and vajankas. Dinguses and vajankas, that's all that matters. So then he goes on to say, once again, the Darwinists have proven that the mutations occur randomly, but the ones that last are the ones that are most useful. And so therefore, puberty just evolved as this thing, as a mutation, and that the real version of initiation is that when you reach puberty, then you can go through your trip, your crazy trip, like all the tribes do. And if you don't lose your mind and cut your dingus off, then maybe you can move into manhood. Oh, but wait, manhood is a social construct. But that's okay because we believe in magic and postmodern magic views, magical thinking. But what's interesting is that if you know Orthodox theology, there's a bit of truth in this because this is the inverse, literally the inverse of the idea behind the Eucharist, behind sacraments. Sacraments are means of grace, and in the case of the body and blood of Christ, we would say that it's a real presence. Right? The uncreated energies transform the bread and the wine to become body, blood, soul, and uncreated grace. And so the book's thesis is listed in a few points. LSD type compounds that are natural are the means by which we evolved. Therefore, the more tripping that we do, the more evolved we'll be. You'll be like Bradley Cooper, bro, in Limitless. You ever seen Limitless, dude? You be like Bradley Cooper, man. You'll be sitting down, typing out your LG queer, sci-fi, fantasy drama, and then you'll go to the gym on your vegan diet, and you'll work out. You'll do it all in one day, and then you'll go, and you'll put your dingus in 55,000
poo-poos within 1 week. It'll be limitless, bro. All within your coffin apartment.
LSD can treat all of our phobias, all of our hang-ups. No, it can't. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's a mind control drug that comes out of the chemical warfare of the military and the CIA's MKUltra program. It's not going to help you. You're not going to, all you're going to see is crazy shit. You're going to face your demons, and you might lose your mind. So ayahuasca, yage, iboga, he lists all these things. Oh, they're going to be so good. It's going to be so helpful. It's going to be so good. And the problem with all of this, you see, is that it's all about seeking gnosis. It's not about changing your heart, repenting, you see. It's about knowledge, gnosis. You have to repent. You have to change your heart. That's what Christ demands. That's the opposite of this. That's why before you go to receive the Eucharist, you go to confession. You repent before the Eucharist because you want to be in the good spiritual state. That's why Paul says, don't receive the Eucharist unworthily, he says to the Corinthians. He says, if you do, you eat and drink damnation upon yourself. So you have to be worthy, and that is achieved through the sacrament of repentance. Not Roman Catholic penance, not paying off indulgence and temporary debts. Heartfelt repentance. This is, you don't pay God off. But according to him, plants like iboga, which create zombies and retards. Watch that Bruce Perry guy from the BBC who went and did all of the initiations like an idiot and almost lost his mind. Because they're not catalysts of consciousness, they're catalysts of mind control. That's why they're used by the CIA and all these corporations to create mind control slave zombies. By the way, once again, just like Friedrich Capra, we have the exact same Illuminist philosophy as Arthur Koestler and the Ghost in the Machine. Ghost in the Machine is one of the most important, overlooked, esoteric globalism texts. I've referred to it over and over and over. 6,000 people watch the video. It should be 600,000. Why are only 6,000 people watching one of the most important videos on one of the most important texts? And watch, in 5 years, somebody will do a video on that and they'll be like, whoa, bro, you just broke the set, man. You just broke the freaking internet, dude. You just woke everything. I did videos on it 5-10 years ago. You see, that's how it works. What is all of this taking us back to? Shocker, nature worship. Nature worship. Terence is very clear. Page 39. We're going back to the great horned goddess. The great horned goddess? I mean, I know about Pan. Who's the great horned goddess? I don't know who you're talking about. But that's who he says we're going back to worshiping. Once again, then we have this section where just like Arthur Koestler, just like Friedrich Capra, Frito Capricorn, this is all about collectivism. We have been under the dominance for many, many years of the enlightenment false dialectic of individualism, and now it's time to swing the pendulum in a controlled dialectic way back to the side of collectivism. Now you've been for all of these centuries under the stupid atomistic philosophy of Hume and Ricardo and Adam Smith. Now it's time to swing the dumb materialist dialectic over to collectivism. Oh, you see, you're just part of a symbiotic system of nature. You're not an individual. That was a lie. Yeah, we told you for centuries that you were a individual, man. I'm an individual. I'm a libertarian, free individual. I don't part of no group. I ain't no part of no group. I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm a sovereign citizen. Is being a male part of being a group? Oh, you are part of a group. Exactly. You're dumb. Collectivism swings the pendulum away from individualism. Because guess what? There are both one and many. There are particulars and there are collectives. They're metaphysical realities. There's no such thing as a pure collective. There's no such thing as a pure atomistic individual. They don't exist. It's a tool to manipulate you. But once you have abandoned philosophy, reasoning, logic, you are a tool to be manipulated to fall into any camp of libertarian Masonic freedom and individualism, or collectivist Masonic collectivism and grouping. You're a cell in Gaia. You're a cell in the body. You're not an individual. Even though the same power structure for centuries told you that you were an individual. And now that because of your individualism breaking down all of your social structures, now you can be repackaged in an alchemical way into the new collective, the new man. And that was all done by design. That's called alchemy. Arthur Kessler talks about this as alchemy in Ghost in the Machine. A member of the Order of the British Empire, a Royal Society illuminist elitist, and he literally says it's alchemy, and everybody's too stupid to figure it out. Therefore, it is a transcendent other that and get this is crazy, because he says this is what Terence says, this is page 42, he says you're going to step outside of, dude, who is this? This Hengist guy is a nobody. I never even talked to the dude. I let him into the chat and he argued with other people for 5 hours. He's not a dude that's even, I don't even know what his positions are. Debate what? He was talking Fed crap. So you're talking about you won't debate. I won't debate some unknown dude on Discord. All he did was try to get a bunch of people to come to the chat, as if I don't even know who this dude is. They're telling this guy, cease fleeing. I don't know who Hengist is. It's a nobody dude from Discord. It's just some dude who started talking about nonsense. And he got on my nerves. I ban people all the time just because they get on my nerves. It's annoying. If you monopolize the chat all day long for 5 hours, I banned a guy who had literal autism. And I warned him 3 times. I said, dude, you have chatted nonstop in my Discord for days on end. Take a break. Take a break, dude. Go do something else. Go outside. Go build Lego stuff or whatever Asperger people do. Go build a fort with Legos, but get out of my Discord. You're driving me nuts. You're not the center of the entire universe. Maybe you're the center of your Lego universe. Then go play with your freaking Legos, dude. Get out of the Discord. And the same thing to this idiot. Who are you? I don't know who you are. Like, I'm supposed to be afraid of some dude that I don't even know who you are. Oh, is he some wignat? Is that what he is? Ugh. That's all these people do is, oh my gosh. Terence says you're gonna experience
the transcendent other.
The transcendent other? The transcendent other is outside of space-time and causality. It's nature itself, the energies of nature. Interesting that this is how Terence says we experience the higher dimensional realities. And so he goes into another couple chapters of talking about this. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because shamanism is something that challenged monotheism. Monotheism was a kind of conspiracy of whoever, or the Western religions, to get this, suppress the goddess and the feminist spirit. The Western religions, being patriarchal, suppress the great god Pan. Where have we heard of the return of Pan? Oh, Crowley. So, shocker, all of this is just to get back to archaic sexuality, the return of the direct perception of the transcendent other, which is not God, it's a goddess. But it's a force, but it's a goddess. Which is it? Is it a personal goddess or is it a force, Terence? And I thought we were trying to get away from superstition and religion. Oh, but no, you're not. You're supposed to go back to... Do you know about shamanic animistic religions? I mean, rolling in poo-poo. Do you see what gurus in India do? Rolling in their poo-poo? Drinking cow urine? Now, is that enlightened or is that demonic madness? Exactly, you see. So that's where he takes us. You see that this is a cleverly designed treatise that sounds really spiritual and reasonable, because if you trip, you will trip balls and you will experience things and you will experience entities, beings. But just because you experience entities and beings, does that mean it's a good spiritual experience? No, not necessarily. What does Scripture tell us? Well, the devil disguises himself as an angel of light. And so just because some little tiny dingus clockwork elf tells you that you're special, we need you to take a message back to the humans. Our message of love and freedom is to kill everybody and depopulate the earth so that the earth can be a habitation for us. Yay! That's what the clockwork elves tell all the retards who trip and go to the clockwork elf dimension. They all say the same stuff. Stop being dumb. Stop being dumb. Guess what? Who does he appeal to? Guess who he goes to next? Gordon Wasson. Gordon Wasson, the agent of J.P. Morgan, who went and collected all of the trippy shrooms. Gordon Wasson brought the samples of the Mexican mushrooms to the Swiss pharmaceutical company, to Albert Hofmann, so that they could create LSD. Exactly. Because guess who was behind all that? Oh, the CIA. And we've covered that multiple times in multiple lectures, multiple times for multiple years. We did John Marx's book. We did the other one, CIA Mind Control. We've done Jay Stevens' book. We've talked about that many times. All over here on this shelf, by the way. This is welcome to the new studio, the new library. I hope you guys like it. It's very echoey in here. I'm not sure I like that very much. But it is a nice house. I have a house now. I'm a boomer with a yard. Official boomerdom. Okay, boomer. This is going to be full of books, you see. This is the library studio. So, so we're going to rehearse. Again, go listen to the talk I did on John Marx's Manchurian Candidate. Go listen to the talk that I did on Walter Bowert's book, Mind Control and CIA Mind Control. And the countless other talks that we've done where we cover this. Go listen to those. I'm giving you good information, bro. I'm giving you gold. But Terence doesn't tell you that Gordon Wasson was an agent of the bankers in the CIA. But John Marx does. And so, when we take all of these books together in tandem, and we think about Dave McGowan, we think about all these books that have been explaining to us the psychonauts. By the way, we did actually cover, I forgot, we did cover one of the psychonauts. We covered the main psychonaut, the dolphin creeper himself, John C. Lilly, who had attractions to dolphins. This is who's going to tell you and plan your future, is people who want to touch dolphins. John C. Lilly wearing his coon hat in interviews, talking about tripping out to the outer sphere, man. I went outside the universe, man. I went outside the universe and I was bathed in the light of Lucifer, man. Outside the universe, man. Yes, by the way, the new house will have the great... See, I'm going to angle this. I'm going to angle it so that you'll see nothing but the books. Remember, everybody misses the book backdrop. All of those books that I never read anything. I never read any of them. They were just a set. They're all fake. It's a big fake movie set. It made me look smarter. And that's the secret to winning debates, is just having a fake bookshelf movie set that you just stick the sticky notes in. You don't actually read the books. That's how I win debates. People are just intimidated and they think I actually know what I'm talking about, but it's all fake. Like that trad said this week in the Discord, you're an actor. You don't even have it. All you do is like, you're just a actor. That's what he said. Yeah, it's all fake. Like, yeah, I didn't go to grad school. That's all fake. My published peer review is that's all fake. It's all everything's fake. Yes, it's all fake. No, trad, you're fake. And gay. So that's roughly the first half.
Food of the gods. Food of the gods.
By Terence Trent McDarby. And now we will read some super chats. And I'm not going to apologize for my ferocity, my sassiness. I got a bunch of sass in me today. I woke up from the sassy side of the bed. Which side of the bed? The low T side of the bed? No. On the sassy side of the bed. I woke up and I just sassed my little butt across the house. I sassing. And anybody who talked to me, I sassed them back. And I sassed E. Michael Jones today. I got sassy. We used to have a dog when I was a kid. Guess what that dog's name was? Sassy. The spirit of Sassy, the dog, inhabited me today. I conjured it up through Wiccaphase. I called up Wiccaphase. I said, yo, Wiccaphase, my demon rapper. Yo, dog, I need you to do some rituals in your videos, dog. And summon a sassy demon dog that I used to have as a pet and let it possess me so that I could be sassy and win debates, dog. Right? Because Wiccaphase is an Illuminati rapper because there's symbols in his videos. Ghost Pig. What's up, Ghost Pig? Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. Ben S., new member. What's up, Ben S.? Sean Finnegan. Hoi, laddie. Sean Finnegan. Welcome to the channel. Ortho Bro. Welcome to the channel, new member. Ortho Bro. Member upgrade. You got that upgrade. Y'all got that upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I done got this phone. It's an iPhone 10X. Need an upgrade, dog. Get an upgrade. Hey, Wiccaphase. I need an upgrade on that demonic ritual that you did, dog. Because that dog that possessed me was not good enough. I'm mega retarded tonight. I'm so retarded. I don't even care tonight. We get retarded up in this mother. See, I can censor myself now. Tony Manzig. Tony Man Bear Pig. What's up? Welcome to the channel. Jolene K. $10. Thank you, Jolene K. Much appreciated. We're taking super chats now. Taking super chats, y'all. Yes, Wiccaphase is cool. And I think it's funny that people act like he's a demon rapper. Jolene, a big, long-time supporter. What's up, Jolene? Jolene. Je suis ta boule. Thank you for calling me gorgeous. I appreciate that. You are gorgeous too. Terence McKenna would say,
we are all gorgeous deep down inside. Even if you're a guru with a booger whistle.
And who can beat the booger whistle? Dude, Osho booger whistle so hardcore that dogs start barking when Osho talks. Dogs like, arr, arr. And this is the booger whistle. Jokul, $5. Here's a super chat. I wish you were more charitable to people like Ibarra and Catholics in general. Here we go. You don't understand what happened. I didn't hop on that stream with him and just be mean. We had 3 years of previous interactions, dude. See, people don't see the previous interactions, the years of interactions that go in the past with these people. It's not being uncharitable or unfair to them when they say things like, well, Jay won't come on the chat. He won't come on and debate. I offered Ibarra to come on and debate for 3 years. Total bullshit. So that's why I hopped on the stream and I was in a sassy. I was being sassy because he said I wouldn't debate him, which is total bullshit. I've asked him countless times for 3 years to come on. Well, I'm not going to debate on your channel, Jay. I'm going to debate on reason and theology. So we always start out totally cordial and totally cool. If you, by the way, when Inspiring Philosophy and Cameron posted all of their messages to try to expose me about why they didn't want to have the debate. They didn't put up the first part where I was completely nice and cordial. No, of course not. Because all you see is the reactions and what's going on YouTube, and you don't see the messages. You don't see what's going on in the background. You don't see the BS. And these people are full of it. And we're about to annihilate Ibarra. Ibarra is going to be annihilated when Lewis posts his essay. We are going to destroy Ibarra. And Ibarra got destroyed in that debate, by the way, because he was still appealing to forgeries. And it doesn't matter how many trads keep saying, you lost. You lost. No, you lost. Pachamama lost. You sided with Pachamama. You lose. You lose with Frank. With Frank, you stank. With Frank, you stink. With Frank, you stank. So it has nothing to do with being uncharitable to people like Ibarra or the Catholics in general, because we always invite them on. We always invite them to the Discord to debate, and they lose their mind. They go crazy. They act like lunatics, and they go after me. They go after my girlfriend, my fiance. They act just crazy. I buy Classical Theist a book, and he spurgs out. What's his excuse? Oh, you sent me inbox messages. Like I haven't been sending you inbox messages for years, dude. What are you talking about? It's just excuses, man. So, and by the way, we need less infighting amongst earnest Christians. I'm sorry, but Roman Catholicism is heresy. It is objectively heresy. Francis is anti-Christ. With Frank, you stank. And so I'm not going to support anybody who wants people to go in communion with Frank and his giant pedo army. Sinisia Erkugovac, 15 HRKs, 15 Harkonian dollars. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen sends me 15 HRKs through Sinisia Ergokovac. But thank you. I don't know what that is in American dollars, but perhaps the Harkonian exchange rate from from Arrakis. What's the Bitcoin? What's the Arrakis to Bitcoin to dollar exchange rate? Anybody know that? Shining Diamond, $2. We reviewed Die Hard. I did a Die Hard review like 10 years ago on one of them. But I guess we should do Die Hard. Yeah, I guess it's been a while. And by the way, that one was all about the NSA and the back doors and stuff. That was pretty interesting. Evan Schultz, 1234. Thank you for your apologetics. Genesis Creation Early Man is such a key foundational book for Eritus for Christians. It is. It's one of the best on the topic. And I wouldn't have become Orthodox if it weren't for that book, because I was starting to think, man, all of these Orthodox are just jokes. I mean, they're compromised. They don't even understand that if you deny Adam as a real historical being, then Christ is not a real historical being who recapitulates as the new Adam. Duh. It destroys the whole frame of redemption if Adam is not historical. And Jesus refers to Adam as historical in the Gospels. So now the Gospels are also wrong. It's just stupid. It's dumb. It's low IQ. It's easy to refute. And I wouldn't have become Orthodox if I had not seen somebody of the stature of Father Seraphim Rose defending this obvious biblical teaching. And obviously the church fathers teach it. I spent 13, 14 years reading the church fathers from the first 1,000 years. That's why none of the Roman Catholics will beat me in a debate, because I have actually read those things. They haven't. And I know what the church fathers teach. They don't teach evolution. They do not. I knew that before I read Father Rose's book, because when you read them, you see that they don't. And modern people lie. They lie. They're ignorant or they lie. Well, the church fathers teach evolution. No, they don't. The Confession of St. Sophronius condemns Origen's allegorizing of Genesis. Amazing Brujo impression. You're getting better. Thank you, Doorman, but my impressions have always been good. But they are getting better. I will give you that. That's true. Some of them are getting better. Some of them are always on point. Some of them are final phase. Like they're like, can Nick Cage get any better? I don't really think so. I don't think Nick Cage is good. Matthew McConaughey is pretty good. I don't think he can get any better. Tanner Terry, let's see. Do you buy, this is AD, 10 pounds. Do you buy into the idea that global neoliberalism is actually going through a crisis? To a degree. I don't think that they're at the point of like where they really think they're going to collapse. But we've covered and critiqued neoliberalism for many, many years. Before E. Michael Jones had a book talking about atomistic individualism and Newtonian economics, I had a long-ass essay critiquing Newtonian economics, by the way. That's another thing I'm going to point out here. I didn't get that critique from him. I didn't read his book on economics. I put my essay out before his book came out. You can go find that years ago on Soul of the East, where I critiqued the atomistic Newtonian influence on economic theory. It's called Nominalist Economics, is my essay. What is your opinion on lucid dreaming? Tanning Terror, $2. It does happen. It does happen. Is it a good thing? No, I don't think that we need to. The tradition of the church is very clear. Our spiritual fathers say that although God can speak to you in a dream, typically speaking, we do not want to pay attention to dreams because they can be very misleading. They can lead to pre-lust, or you can fall into the idiocy of like charismatic gobbledygook. So don't put too much stock into our dreams. They're very, the heart is deceitful, Jeremiah says. A sick nothing, a truly a loathsome creature. That is, that's a unhealthy attitude. You don't have to have a sick nothing, loathsome creature attitude. $4.99. What's your opinion on the Dead Sea Scrolls? I think that they are a legitimate find. I don't think they're fake, and I think that they have vindicated many of the Old Testament texts. In fact, the Dead Sea Scrolls vindicated Isaiah in many, many ways. Kurtz, 2 pounds. I don't know what you're saying. Rico to take like 20, 50. I don't do shrooms. Right. We're here to critique Terence McKenna. Andrew Thomas Mullins, 20 pounds. Thank you, Jay. I've been waiting for this one. Could you do some Osho talking? This is Osho's, the Terence McKenna's very dangerous persons, because Terence McKenna say don't follow gurus. But Osho's here to help you. Just touch Osho's dingus and you'll be healed of all problems.
Well, as I told you, I don't trust any gurus, even if they're a guru so vivacious and attractive as Mr. Osho himself, because they always want you to touch the dingus, even though I am a polyamorous little elf man myself. But if you touch my dingus, it's okay because I'm polyamorous. And my little dingus actually resembles a little shroom. It's like a little Goomba, a little mushroom from Mario.
Is that good enough for you? That was all improv, by the way. That was not scripted. George's Journal, $4, $5. I bought a bunch of Seraphim Rose off, Father Seraphim Rose off of Amazon. I can't wait. You will be very impressed. By the way, Jay's analysis is the reason why the Genesis book is going for $100, because apparently all the copies have been bought up. That's good news. And by the way, 400 nerds almost. I think we hit maybe almost 400 nerds tonight. Welcome, 400 nerds, to the Jay's analysis stream. Admiral Squat Bar, $2. He says, I'm digging the new house today. Thank you. We're going to have to fix this echo in here somehow. I'm not digging that echo. It's echoey. It's empty. It's cold, empty house. We're going to have to fill it up with Hispanic people in every room. Warm Hispanic people in every room. That's what I want to make this house not echo. I don't want my sound vibrations will be bouncing off of little Latinas who will be cooking me carne asada. Randy Churchill, $20. Thank you, Randy Churchill. Much appreciated. We always give big props to Randy Churchill, big supporter, long-time supporter of Jay's analysis. What up, what up? What, whoop, whoop. The whistles go, whoop, whoop. Randy gets a whoop, whoop. DC Customs. What's up, DC Customs? I haven't seen you around in a while. Glad you're back. Thank you. Glad you like the new house. I'm official boomer now. I got a house with an echo. Because I'm like the divorced boomer. Nobody else in here. It's all right. Jamie will be in here eventually. We get married. Can you do a video on Lucifer? Jay, you're the man. $2. Can you do? Well, I have a talk on the Luciferian aspects of Darwinism. I have a good talk that has been buried in the algorithm on how Darwinism is Luciferian. Type in Darwinism, Luciferian, and you'll get actually 2 or 3 talks, right? We did one with Tim, and we did one with some Catholic trad dude before the trads became my mortal enemies, before they decided to all come after me and try to take me down, bro. I'll take you down, bro. I'm gonna take you down, bro. But go look up those talks because they are mega based. They're badass. One of those I'm very proud. I think it was one of the best talks I did. The one about H.G. Wells, Arthur Kessler, and something else is like the Luciferian. I forget what something Luciferian. I forget the title of it, but there are many talks on Lucifer and Luciferianism. Sinisia Ergokovac again for 10 Harkonnen bucks. He says this is a super dove, man. Super dove? Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when the super doves cry. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when the super doves cry. Jack for $2. He says, Jay, you're the man. Can you do it? Oh, wait, we already did that. Virgil Hiltz. Virgil Hiltz? Virgil, classical author, Roman propagandist, rhetoricist, poeticist. Hiltz, which is like a redneck name. Virgil Hiltz. I'm just messing with you, bro. $2. He says, great content today. MK Ultra and the Clockwork Elves. MK Ultra and the Clockwork Elves. MK Ultra and the Clockwork Elves. Bad baby up in this mofo. What? Cat me outside. How about that? Alexander, $5. EMJ said, exactly. That's why I zippity doodad for the first hour bitching. I roasted the boomer for the first hour. How much more roasting can we do? Maybe if E. Michael Jones put down the box wine before his interviews, he could actually listen and hear that the essence energy distinction actually refutes Neoplatonism. But he doesn't understand that. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Tanner Terry, $10. Thank you for all your work and your time and the Discord. Thank you. And I want to say shout out to my based mods. We have great moderators in the Jay's Analysis Discord because they keep out the riffraff, the trash boys. The trash boys and the riffraff get kept out. Out! Get out. They are excellent mods. I have great mods. I'm very happy. Very, very, very thankful to my ortho bros. What's up? People saying do a Michael Voris impersonation. I don't even know what Michael Voris talks about. And by the way, I wasn't actually really doing a Michael Voris impersonation in that one video, but I'll do one because I'm really getting tired of the trads. They're really annoying. And they don't know what they're talking about. And you can't talk to them. They're like talking to teenagers. You can't reason with them. You start reasoning with them and they just lose their mind. They're like kids who have a candy fit. Like tantrums. They have tantrums on candy. Michael Voris. That guy's a goofus. Somebody said, so has he ever done a debate? By the way, isn't it funny? Taylor Marshall won't debate. None of these people will debate. Taylor Marshall had to block me. That's his way of pussing out. Gloves are off. The gloves are off. I'm done being nice. I've been so cordial and nice. You think I'm mean? You guys, I'm not mean to these people. I'm constantly biting my lip, being cordial. I'm getting tired of being so cordial. It's time to not be as cordial and nice to these people because they're getting on my nerves. And after you're going to go on streams and call orthodoxy Neoplatonism, that triggers me. Yes, I'm triggered because that is literally the dumbest argument ever. And he's just rehashing the stupid shit that Jim Lacoutus said to me in emails 10 years ago. Jim Lacoutus's dumb, bad arguments are part of the reason I went Orthodox. Because he doesn't even know what the essence of distinction is. He's that bad. He's the worst Orthodox critique opponent. Michael Voris, how's this? I forget how he talks. Let me hear how he talks. Let's hear him.
Every day.
Well, let's go through the ad. Let's hear Voris. The Vortex.
Today is Wednesday, November 27th, 2019.
Does he not do the Vortex thing anymore? What's with the trads and the acne problems? Like, do they all have just like the worst acne ever? I know what I know what it is, dude. I know what it is. I forgot. Trads are all drunks. That's the problem. Every trad I've ever known drinks like a mofo, like a fish. That's why they can't debate and why they get so mad. Because they're all drunk. That's what it is. I forgot that. They can't do a single thing without 5 wine mom boxes of wine.
To invest in London apartments, the pontiff called this
The pontiff. I mean, see, he doesn't do the vortex thing anymore. He's here we go. Here's a vortex. Because this is not the vortex. This is some weirdo. I'm sorry, I can't find. Here we go, vortex.
Hi there, ChurchMilitant.tv supporters. I'm Michael Voris.
And I'm Rebecca Hasenauer.
If you were someone
He's not doing the vortex thing.
Buy a home.
We'll close this.
It's a great way to support.
The acne vortex, more like it. Here we go. I need a pen. Do I have a pen I can do this stupid thing he does? Or is it? Oh, he's got a pencil.
Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Mike. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Vortex, where lies.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the vortex where lies and
exposed. I'm Michael Voris. When it comes to Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed.
Where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Voris. Welcome to the vortex. Let me hypnotize you with a spinning pencil, and it'll show you how trad I am. I'm so trad that I even have the bad acne like all the trad theologians have. How's that? DC Customs. 2016, $10. What was it like on tinfoil hat? It was a surprise. That's what it was like. So, yeah. And I thought, by the way, we have to give some props to Joe Rogan. I thought that it was that interview that got Sam's channel deleted. I was scared. I was like, Sam, buddy. I messaged Sam and I was like, dude, why did your channel get deleted? And he sent me the message and it had to do with some silly thing about linking to products. So it didn't even have anything to do with anything like crazy. It was just about exterior links, which in the new terms of service, there's all these things about like whether you can exterior link to certain products or not. So actually Joe Rogan, I think, stepped in and actually helped Triple E to get the channel back. So we do give Joe Rogan props for that. Thank you, Joe Rogan. I can't talk. Thank you, Joe Rogan, for helping Sam to get his channel back. But it was a nutty interview. I don't think Sam exactly expected. I mean, even Sam is a blue, dirty comic, and Sam was shocked by Hong Young terrorists. So that's what it was like. It was like, what? Like every time she said something, it was like I was at a loss for words, right? And XG sitting next to her, like you could see XG, like the more she talked, the more he was like scooting away. So Tanner Terry, how do you respond to the divorce argument Catholics like to give? By pointing out that the canon law in the West, just like the canons of St. Basil, allowed divorce, which shows that the Roman Catholics are hypocrites. And because annulment is the exact same thing, it's just a Talmudic legalistic way to get around it and calling it annulment when everybody in the Novus Ordo Church treats it just like divorce. So they're hypocrites. And Jesus says that except for fornication. So they're more strict than Jesus. That's how. The canons of St. Basil allow it. And that alone refutes the silly Catholic arguments. Jamie Freesey, 199. Have you converted your family? No. Adam Ray, new member. Thank you, Adam Ray. Welcome. Welcome to Jay's analysis. Welcome to the destruction of idiocy, the annihilation of lunacy, the mutilation of mongoloid. Oh man, I was doing it. I was on a roll with that alliteration, and I fit up. So, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I ranted. I was just in a mood to rant today. I had that acidic sassiness I was sashaying my little butt around this house. Sassy all day long since I woke up on the sassy side of the bed. It's just assassin. I'm an assassin with my sassy. Sassy assassin. How do I become a member? Well, you can join on the YouTube channel. There's a membership on the YouTube channel, or you can go to jaysanalysis.com and become a member. And there's Jay's Esoteric Hollywood books over there. You can get the Esoteric Hollywood books at jaysanalysis.com in the shop. jaysanalysis.com. Go to the shop. Woke your family members with my books, bro. Signed copies, dog. How do you become a member? At Jay's Analysis, there's a purchase membership tab. Or if you're lazy, you can just join on YouTube. There's 2 ways. It's not different content. It's the exact same content. And by the way, I apologize to the people that have signed up for tutoring on Patreon. We still do that, but I have been moving for the last 2 weeks. I am now in this new empty house. But at least now we can get to tutoring again, even though it's going to be a nightmare to put all of these thousands of books up on the shelves. But I'm not complaining. I'm very thankful to have thousands of books at my leisure. Thank you to you guys for all of your support. It's you guys that makes this possible. But it's going to be a nightmare getting all these thousands of books out of storage while it's like 30 degrees here in Tennessee. Moving all those books over here. But eventually we'll have it all set up, and we will have the Command Fortress, the Jay's Analysis Command Fortress Studio. And I even went and bought a damn PC so that I can have guests back on, because OBS won't work with Mac Catalina. So I did that all for you guys. I don't want to buy a damn stupid HP PC. I hate PCs and I'm tired of PCs, but I had to go get one. So that's how you can become a member. Thank you, DC Customs. Just join. Welcome. So you can do it on YouTube or there. All right. What a night. What a night. Why don't these people just come on and debate? Why won't they do it? And by the way, people are like, they're afraid you're going to go after them. No, I wouldn't have gone after them until you go after me. Then I go after you. Then it's fair game. Then I'm coming after you. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter. All of you. Aiden Kringen, $5. Jay, I love your work. What do you think of Dr. Edward Dutton? I don't know who Edward Dutton is. I mean, people have mentioned his name. Aiden, if you want to put into the chat who he is or what he does, I'll check that out. But I don't remember who he is. By the way, this is the first half of Terence McKenna's goofy psychonaut propaganda in the Globalism Books series. This is what, the 35th, 6th, 7th, 8th. We're approaching 40, almost 40, somewhere in there. Globalism Books talks. And this goofus psychonaut is the most recent one. This was Tristan's idea. Tristan had a great idea. Definitely go over to Primal Edge Health. Everybody subscribe to Tristan. A lot of great health advice there. Definitely has helped my gut out. Though I'm still sassy. I'm still sassy. Even though my gut has healed, I'm still sassy. Lost 35 pounds. We know that last year, around this time, I was about 35 pounds heavier. But we kept all that weight where it counts. But 35 pounds lighter. Coming out feeling about 35 pounds lighter, says Ice Cube, and today was a good day. But I don't know who Edward Dutton is. Did you tell me in the chat who he is? Edward Dutton is cool. You should talk to him. About what? What does Edward Dutton talk about? Mauro Biglino that God is an ET. Oh my gosh. No, we're not doing God is an ET. I lecture you guys over 40 lectures, almost 40 of the top global elite books in the last 3 years. Not counting all the theology lectures, not counting all the other talks. Do we get invited on any of the shows? No. Do we get invited on the big radio shows? We get invited on John B. Wells. Shout out to him. We get invited on Patrick, 21 Wire. Shout out 21 Wire. Shout out Alternate Current Radio. Nobody else gives us support. Why don't the other people give us any support? Now, I'm not butthurt because we're doing fine without them. We don't need all them other mugs. But them other mugs are getting on my nerves because have they ever reached out, given support? Nope. Do they do the work that we do? Nope. Do they debate the atheists? Nope. But it looks like, I'm going to get most hated dude. That's fine with me. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy being most hated dude by all of even the alternative media. They're all going to hate me. I'm joking. But I mean, come on. The alternative media it's a joke. And, there've been a handful of them that have ever supported us in our work, even though we do work that no one else does. Now, I'm not knocking Corbett. I am a fan of Corbett. Corbett has been a supporter in the past. We have nothing against Corbett. We have nothing against Richard Grove. Shout out to Richard Grove, Tragedy Hope. We got a lot of supporters out there, but we also had a lot of clowns and opponents who are, they're just lesser men. They can't hang and they can't handle it. So it's okay, bro. We understand. And we know that deep down, the real reason that we don't get support is out of envy. It is. I mean, I hate to talk that way, but the real reason that a lot of people are mad and they don't want to talk about this, they don't want to come on here, they don't want to have a debate is because they don't want to lose their audience. They don't want people realizing that the stuff that I've written books about and talked about for a lot longer than a lot of these people is true. And I was way more woke than a lot of these people a long time ago. And I've been vindicated on all this stuff, including the Vatican. But giving up on the Vatican is it's a tough one. It has a strong hold on a lot of people because it's an idol. Giving up on Thomas Aquinas is a hard. It's an idol. Jay, they're incapable of understanding half of the arguments that you make. Exactly. So you would think that if they really wanted to know good philosophy, to know what was true, they would learn. But they would rather not learn. They would rather be in opposition. And doesn't that just speak to the fallacious mindset of Western apostasy, right? We're all in a survival of the fittest, competition against everybody mode for individualism, and that's why you're all going to lose. The groups that are not individualist will win. You will lose to Islam, you will lose to the Muslims because of your stupid theology and your stupid philosophy. And I've been telling you this for years, and you don't want to listen. Islam does not teach that you're a Luciferian, atomistic, libertarian individual. And they'll beat you. And Stanky Frank, Pope Francis, when are you going to realize that the Orthodox are not your enemies, that we are actually continuing the theology of the first millennium of Christianity, and that Francis and his cohort of pedo demons are your enemies as well? We're not your enemies. Even Ratzinger, the fake trad himself, admits that the Orthodox Church maintains the theology of the first millennium. And it doesn't matter how many times Candy Ibarra says that that's not what Francis says, or excuse me, what Ratzinger says. That is what he said. Maybe you should take the built up sugar that's built up in your ears, Ibarra. Take that sugar out. You've got some cream puff that somehow got stuck in your ears. You can't hear what they actually say. It's all right. Lewis is about to demolish Ibarra in his next article, which we will have up very soon. All right. Thank you, guys. Great stream. Big audience tonight. 400 almost. A lot of fun. Fat super chats. Much appreciated. Support the site with the books. Support the site with the memberships. And hey, come debate. Any of you trads, come debate. We're here. We're waiting. We open the Discord all the time. We're waiting for the debate. But you guys won't debate because you can't debate.